They are relentless, ruthless, as cruel as they are clever, and they're planning, conspiring, searching for the perfect time to strike. 9/11 and subsequent attempts to hijack or destroy commercial aircraft underscores, federal agents say, the need for effective aviation security programs nationwide. And while passengers are familiar with intensive, sometimes intrusive checkpoint screening,
it's a necessary evil.
I think it's for our safety. It doesn't bother me at all.
I feel it's safe.
But vulnerabilities remain. In fact, the U.S. Government Accountability Office, in this July 2011 report, writes a key element of aviation security includes, quote, airport perimeter security and access controls.
Ironically, News Channel 8 received a tip that vehicles aren't being thoroughly checked at this gate at the Des Moines International Airport. So we decided to investigate, and what we found might surprise you.
Our cameras captured everything from beverage haulers to construction trucks, gaining access to highly sensitive areas with just a swipe of a card, touch of a keypad, or, in this case, what appears to be a very minimal inspection. Watch as this worker meets a vendor outside of Gate 5A. She doesn't look into the engine bay, doesn't search the undercarriage, instead just a quick peek into a compartment or two. Moments later, she and the driver get in and take off.
I don't know why they wouldn't be screened when everybody else is. I mean, if they're coming to the airport, why wouldn't they be checked?
We also recorded several work vehicles not being checked. Driver after driver pulled up to the gate, entered a code, swiped a badge, and accessed the secure area.
But there was uniformed security personnel working here. The aviation director tells me he canceled that contract in June primarily to save money. And furthermore, he says the TSA doesn't require a guard at this gate.
News Channel 8 submitted public records requests to the city of Des Moines. We obtained this security contract termination notice sent June 6, 2011 by Aviation Director Don Smithy. In it, he writes, following an in-depth review of airport security measures with the Federal Security Director and his staff, the airport will implement changes to current security measures that will no longer require the services provided under contract with the Conley Group Incorporated.
Well, actually, I was shocked. Quite frankly.
Tom Conley is president of the Conley Group. He agreed to speak with us after we showed him not only the termination letter, but a strongly worded email he sent to the director.
I've read the emails you've obtained, and I may stand by my comments.
Comments urging officials to reconsider, quote, because the possible resulting horrific consequences of a security failure. Conley writes cutting security guards would, quote, create unacceptable vulnerabilities and ones that would result in the airport having a grossly inadequate security posture.
I felt an ethical responsibility to wrote what I wrote in the emails.
He says his guards provided more than just a visible deterrent at Gate 5A. He says they thoroughly inspected vehicles, checked identification, recorded times of entry and exit, and inspected security credentials.
And our job was to make sure that only authorized personnel and authorized cargo were allowed access. Nobody likes to lose business, but we've got a lot of customers, and we're busy taking care of our other customers. It's more important, Patrick, that the job be done by somebody competent than it is that we do it.
So who is doing the work at Gate 5A? Well, what used to be a job handled by trained guards is now being done by airport employees, folks who might work the checkout line at the magazine stand or serve coffee at restaurants.
And the aviation director, who refused to go on camera, does say those employees undergo background checks and are trained by the TSA. He also says anyone trying to enter any perimeter gate is being checked, although he won't disclose how. And operation staffers, along with Des Moines police officers, patrol the area regularly. But while he believes the airport is secure and the security plan substantive, is it enough? For passengers,
I travel so much, I kind of do it on automatic pilot.
security screening, while sometimes inconvenient,
I've gotten used to it.
is always essential.
It keeps us safe. A lot of people complain about how hard it is to get through security. I think it's great.
But experts say despite tens of billions of dollars invested in airport security after 9/11, critical holes remain.
Perimeter security has the potential to be one of those holes. Yes, absolutely.
Perimeter security, often the first line of defense. At the Des Moines International Airport, officials just this year terminated the contract of a private security company whose uniformed guards inspected vehicles and checked identification of those trying to access highly sensitive areas. Records obtained by News Channel 8 reveal the contract was canceled in early June. The aviation director tells us it was just too expensive and not required by the transportation Transportation Security Administration. So who's doing the job now? Airport employees are, according to the director. That means folks who might work in the gift shop or at a concourse restaurant pouring coffee are now inspecting these trucks. Our undercover cameras caught workers at Gate 5A performing what appear to be minimal checks of vendor vehicles. Case in point, this employee looking into just a few of several compartments before escorting the delivery inside. And we recorded work trucks not being looked at whatsoever. Drivers pull up to the gate, swipe a badge, and motor right on through.
So, does our undercover video reveal serious airport security issues? Was the decision to remove a uniformed guard from Gate 5A a bad idea? Well, we're here in Chicago to find out, to talk to a leading aviation security expert, a University of Illinois professor who has carefully reviewed our findings.
When you look at what was going on in the video that you sent at Des Moines Airport, I would say it's very typical of what we're seeing right now.
Sheldon Jacobson says this is becoming commonplace, especially at smaller airports like Des Moines, places with limited resources. He believes the aviation director made a prudent and reasonable decision to terminate the private security contract.
Given the environment and the type of vehicles and personnel who are going to pass through the checkpoint at the airport, I would say it would be reasonable. Now, would it be better to have more screening of the personnel? Absolutely.
As for current inspections,
very routine and perfunctory. I wouldn't call them to be thorough. I wouldn't call them to be non-existent.
But no matter what federal, state, or local agencies do in hopes of protecting passengers, there will always be someone, somewhere, looking for a weakness, and keeping travelers safe will continue to be a huge and hugely expensive job.
And the difficulty is, how do you secure such an enormous system with over 400 commercial airports, of which Des Moines is one of them, where you have hundreds of millions of passengers flowing through the system every year? How do you secure such a system?